Dex here for 3000 Magazine here at the Detroit Historical Museum for the Detroit Techno exhibit.
Show the country and the world what Detroit is all about. This is a hotbed of entertainment.
Okay. All right, you recording already? Oh, okay. Just want to get your reaction, man. After so many years of working on your music and your career, how does it feel now to finally get some recognition and have this museum exhibit dedicated to you, and just, you know, to have the public recognize you? How does it feel, man?
It's a bittersweet, but the fabric has been laid a long time ago. But the press already have what the fabric been laid back in the day will be unwoven because it's in the Detroit Historical Museum. I used to come when I was a kid, so therefore, but you know, I'm just folks.
So Juan, just want to get your reaction to this whole exhibit, the whole production, how you feel now that the city of Detroit has officially recognized you and given you an exhibit in the historical museum. How do you feel about it?
It's a real good feeling, man. I feel great about this. I mean, you know, I don't think it's really dawned on me yet the scope of this whole thing. But I mean, I used to come to this place when I was a kid. You know, and I used to go to the old Detroit, and we used to play down on the cobblestone streets and stuff. Well, this is like one of the places to come. And to think that, you know, in the future that I would have an exhibit here, you know, it's mind-blowing.
Yeah, you probably get a little teary-eyed later. You know?
Maybe, we'll see.
Yeah. So what you working on at the moment?
Right now, I'm actually, you know, in light of everything that's happening, I'm putting together a compilation of my old catalog, all of it from day one, like the old Cybertron. All of that stuff I'm putting together. That's one of the things I'm doing. I've been living in LA for the last 2 years, so of course that's my step into like doing some film work, and, movie soundtrack and stuff like that. So, you know, of course the thing, a live show. I want to put together a live show, Model 500, and maybe debut it at the festival this year. If, you know, if everything comes together properly.
So you take a break from DJing for a minute?
No, I'm still be DJing.
Oh, okay.
Still, I'm trying to do it all. I try to fit it all together, you know. I mean, I'll make it work.
Any new Model 500 projects coming out? Model 600 now?
Model 600, you know, that's the collaboration works with, you know, the UR. So, yeah, there'll be more stuff on both of those titles, I think.
All right, man. Well, thanks for stopping and talking to us.
All right, man.
All right, we're here with Ron Murphy of National Sound, the man for mastering all the techno records. A lot of the records that are up in the exhibit were mastered by this man. And we just want to get some a little bit of feedback response. How does it feel to have your work in a museum here in the city of Detroit? A lot of the guys, when they started out, came to you and you kind of helped them out, you know, gave them some feedback and told them, you know, go back, do this and do that. And,
yeah, well, that's true. I think, you know, and I give guys like, you know, Mike Banks and Juan and all them guys a lot of credit because they had to do it on their own and they really didn't have anybody. You know, I was one of the few people they could probably go to, you know, that had some experience, you know, in the record business. And, you know, we sit down and talk about their contracts and, like you said, how to do things maybe a little bit better, but they had to do it on their own. When I came in, I learned from radio people, you know, and your radio people, your veteran radio people were your first engineers in the studios, you know, because before the recording studios, if you wanted to do a record or something, you went to a radio station to record. So I was fortunate that I learned from some of those radio people. And there, you know, there's a right way to put things together. And, you know, these guys didn't have that. So they did it all on their own. So you got to give them a lot of credit. And they did learn well. And, you know, their recordings have improved, you know, quite a bit since the early ones. So I give them a lot of credit, you know.
Mills, a.k.a. The Wizard. What is there to say, man? I want to get your impression about this exhibit after spending so many years working hard and getting the music out there, touring, to get some recognition at home in a museum of all places. Yeah, how does it feel?
It feels great. It's a big relief. I mean, for many years, you know, I mean, I often thought, you know, Detroit is missing the best part of the whole techno thing, you know, and to actually see a very formal, thorough exhibition just about techno is a big relief. Very happy to be here.
Yeah, and it's more of a culturally significant thing. It's not just, I mean, the DMF was a big party and people saw it for the crowds it could draw.
Right.
But the museum now kind of looks at it as a historical, a musical, just an overall kind of cultural event. It's a historical context. So how do you feel about that?
I think that I mean it's I mean in my mind my true feeling it's past the time. I mean maybe something like this should have been done, you know, maybe I don't know 5 to 7 years ago, you know. But I'm very happy to see it now, you know. And even as we speak now, there are things that are materializing as a result of Detroit Techno. So the education, you know, continues. You know.
I know you're constantly on tour, man. What's the response from people around the world? Do they know about what's going on here with this museum exhibit?
It gets more and more exciting, and I think things like this will just make it, you know, more profound. So it's the first real proper documentation of electronic music in this fashion, you know, from this perspective, from a historic perspective. So it should give other people in other countries the indication that, you know, this type of music that they loved all these years, there's much more to it, and there's a togetherness to it, and you know, I think it'll answer the question to a lot of people.
Now, as a producer, do you think this will maybe get people more in tune to what the music was? I don't want to say intended to, but you know, there's a lot of misinterpretation about what Detroit Techno is. Well, you know, with the, you know, evolution, transfer, and bass, and all these other things that kind of offshoot it from techno. You think people start to kind of realize, oh, well, this is what the sound was originally,
right? And
you know, everything else kind of sprung out from
right.
that.
Well, I mean, from the beginning, it always was looked at in different perspectives because it did not have one sound. It was a group of people that had similarities, but for the most part, the structure of their music came from different directions. So this exhibition kind of brings it all together and kind of shows you the common thread between all those different type of sounds, those different type of labels, and those different type of DJs. So the understanding should be become better.
All right, we're here with Alan Oldham, aka DJ T1000, Pure Sonic Records. We're just trying to get some reaction, man. How does it feel after so many years of hard work, getting some hometown recognition? How does it feel?
You know, to me, it reminds me of, you know, when I played DMF. You know, it's always good to be validated and recognized in your own hometown. You know, it's almost a cliche to be big overseas. You know, it's like everybody's big overseas. You know, you hear about like some rock band, or we're big in Japan. Very nice exhibit. My mom's here, just having a good time. And
now they're catching on now.
Exactly.
You guys already been all
exactly. They had to go around the long way, but it's back around, so it's all good. And I'm just trying to, you know, keep the mystery, stay underground, and, you know, work my ass off so I can get my stuff done. You know,
all right.
You know how it is.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much.
All right. Cool, man.
Thank you. All right. All right, we're here with D-Win, the legendary Detroit techno producer, recorded on Transmat, KMS. Give us your reaction to this exhibit. How does it feel to be in the Detroit Historical Museum in your own hometown, get some recognition here at home?
Actually, man, it's shocking. You know, you hear about it, and at the time when they're putting it together, you don't expect nothing like this. And when you go in there and you see all your friends that you grew up with, and see yourself on the wall, it's like breathtaking.
Yeah, just looking. We're here with Krista Robinson of Submerge Management, distributor for many of Detroit Techno's most innovative labels. Krista, I want to know how it feels now that you've gotten some hometown recognition. You have your work displayed in the museum, and you can bring your kids here to see it. How does it feel?
Actually, it's the most wonderful feeling I could have imagined. Actually, it's been a long time coming. We've been in the industry for over a decade, and it's been growing at such a momentum that it was just a matter of time. But I'm very proud to see the recognition that the city has given us, and the fans, and just the local Detroit officials. And I think that the display is excellent. The way they put it on, very professional, and I'm having a great time.
Is this going to be good?
So I think that the younger generation and the children can come because it's a beautiful thing for them to see where this music originated here in Detroit. and feel proud to be part of it.
I know Submerge just moved to a new building. You're at 3000 Grand Boulevard now. How does it feel to be in the new building? What's going on down there?
A lot of new things are happening down there. We moved in there about a year and a half ago, and we were at another location for almost 10 years. So this too was a long time coming, and we put a lot of hard work and sweat into this building, but we finished it. It's up and running, and we have a lot of new things planned for 2003. A lot what you'll be hearing more about. I don't want to say too much now.
Play off the camera and shit.
Word up.
All right, we're here with Keith Butts, label founder of Hypnotic Records, Detroit.
It's our Motown, you know, this is something that I grew up on, you know what I'm saying? And it's 20 years later now, you know, when my parents and stuff was talking about Motown and all that, and Marvin Gaye. Now, you know, I can talk about Jeff Mills and Kevin Sanderson and Juan Atkins and Underground Resistance, and, you know, I can bring people down here to the...
Bring little Keith down here.
To the Detroit Historical Museum, you know what I'm saying? And so it's cool, it's something I can relate to, you know.
I've done 1,000 interviews all over the world. I gotta
just do one more. What we're doing is getting everybody's kind of reaction, especially a person such as yourself who's been in this industry for so long, and now that it's finally getting some real recognition in the city of Detroit, by the city, by the mayor, by the museum. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like it's been long overdue? You know, considering how much it's gone around the world, or is it just you're just glad that the day has finally come? How do you feel?
Well, I feel like it has been long overdue. I mean, I think it's due now at the time it's supposed to be due, which is now. The time when when we were creating our past catalogs, when we all started. You know, some started in the late '80s, early '80s. Early 90s. You know, I don't think we were really looking for recognition back then. And I wouldn't say we were looking for it today, but it's time now because so many of us have produced numerous records in the past few years and developed large catalogs, great selling records. And it's time that now that the story be told, where these producers come from, you know, what have they done in our own city. And I'm excited, and you know, there's still more catalogs to be produced. We're all still working.